Good morning, healers, tanks, damage dealers. Sorry, that's just a bit scuffed. Welcome to day one of the Conquer the Climb playoffs. I'm joined by my fellow co-caster Risen here, and we'll be taking you through the action of today's first match. I think it's Otaku versus Omni Knights.
Yeah, quite the game we have going for us. First day of playoffs, excitement in the air. Excited to see how these teams have grown from the beginning of this entire project, now all the way at basically the final stepping stone, which is playoffs. It's going to be nice to see how coaches have structured and molded their teams along the way throughout the round robin, and may the best team win, I suppose.
Really excited to see. Watching Conquer the Climb, having these players come from grassroots beginnings up until now, it's really exciting to know, it's really going to be really exciting to see how these players have improved and the team comps and everything. So I think we're in for really good games here. To be fair, I don't really know much about these two teams, so I'm ready to be surprised by both, and that is what I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, that's about it that I have.
No, yeah, for sure. I've been able to experience these teams firsthand a little bit, being involved with the tournament, and definitely from the beginning up until now, there's been a lot of changes, especially with like Overwatch meta shifts, teams adapting to that, and also the lack of bans in this tournament as well. It really shows the flexibility of players and how they can still play the game and still put in the work, even though that their heroes can't really be banned out, or they can't ban specific heroes that might really negatively impact the comps that they want to play, and they're still able to perform on those comps, even though, like, per se, the enemy team is playing something that's really difficult for them to play into, and they're just kind of breaking these thresholds and pushing to new limits, which is the entire point of this entire project, right? So it's really nice to see.
Just waiting to get into the lobby here. First map control is, I'm assuming, the diff. Oh, Omni Knights is on our screen right now, as you can see. Maywaku, Token, Jinxie, Long Live Pain, and SG Flops. Token is a name I kind of recognize from watching the first games. I don't know if you have any input on any of these players.
No, yeah, a lot of well, I'd like to say well-known players by now. Definitely amongst the coaching community, at least. Token, quite popular player. Seeing a lot of fire from Token recently. Really putting in the work for Omni Knights, especially on the Mauga comp that they played. But I've been seeing Omni Knights actually branch into somewhat of a ball play style, and a little bit more dive now that Mauga has kind of shifted out of the meta. And like I was saying earlier, these teams are really adapting and trying to make the effort to adapt really fast to meta shifts. And Omni Knights kind of played strictly Mauga and a lot of Mauga, but now they're really branching out. And then we have Jinxie, really well-known player and friend amongst a lot of us here at Kauza. And then Maywaku, newer to the scene, the little brother of Kurogari, which I'm pretty sure we most of us know here as well. Really consistent play on the hit scan. Long Live Pain, SG Flops backline, really strong backline. Really enjoyed seeing them play and improve behind the scenes. Yeah, overall really strong team, as they have proven in the round robin. They are not here to play around.
And our next team up against Omni Knights, Otaku. Now this is a team we also see in ACGL's Summer Series. Chloe, a name I recognize. Any info you have to share, Risen?
Not much, to be honest. I've seen Chloe around, I've seen Tarnished around, and I've seen Baki around. It was a fairly new team to me coming into CTC. Not really seeing the team name or much of these player names floating around, but they are quite the unknown team, but mostly known to play like Remacha Brawls, a little bit of dive, a little bit of everything, to be honest. I've been seeing them play quite a few comps, and it's being a little bit of a less experienced team in comparison to Omni Knights at this stage. It seems like they're trying to find their way and really play things and try and find the comfort and what they're good at. And from like beginning of tournament to now, they seem to have tightened up their comps a bit, and definitely improved a lot more since like first game round robin to last game round robin. Definitely a lot of improvement from this team, and really surprising to see how fast they've actually improved since beginning. From now.
Yeah.
I guess we can give kudos to Blur for that one as the coach for this team.
So I'm kind of sensing a bit of an underdog story, and I don't know about you, but me personally, I love that. Having this like clash of like a team that has more established players than others, I feel like we're in for some good Overwatch. I feel like.
I feel like we can definitely reference back to Vanquish from last year, right? Like, came in quite the underdog team, lower seed, and you guys just fought all the way up to second place. It's like, and everybody was so excited for that. It's like, I have to. It's like it was so cool seeing like the underdog team, you know, go all the way, fight through the entire low bracket, all the way up to second place. It was really interesting. So I think it's gonna be a really cool game to watch.
And first game Samoa. Ooh, I guess let the better brawl win.
Samoa, yeah.
I feel like this is going to be an interesting map. Yeah, let's see what they run out to. I'm hoping to see double brawl matchups because, I don't know, brawl just makes more fun Overwatch. But then at the same time, if they pull out a dive, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Because dive has that higher skill ceiling and execution window. But yeah, double brawl.
Brawl also popular on this one. Yeah, do with that what you will. But I mean, wouldn't be surprised if we see a Brawl v Brawl here. Pretty common comp on this map. Ramatra, almost always. Sometimes in Reinhardt. If we drop a little bit into these like middle ranks, but we can see dive coming out from the side of Omni Knights. Not surprised actually. Opting for more of the dive playstyle now that Mauga's kind of gone. Never really saw Omni Knights play the Ramatra that much. They preferred the Mauga, so it's swapping to the dive here with the very greedy Anazen backline. Interested to see how that works, and then Token on his signature hero for this tournament on the Pharah. And again, a pretty counter divey brawl coming out from Otaku. Be interesting to see how Jinxie's Winston plays into this.
I'm just interested about the two things I'm watching here is the Zen and the Moira. Two, I feel like unknowns in both teams.
Zen able to put a first pick out. Come on to the Moira, a bit of a wide peek there. Looks like Jinxie's going to take the dive on right side mid. It's going to get really low, and they're going to get traded out. We're traded a match for Otaku. Pretty even fight going on. Number advantage for the side of Omni Knights. Looks like Otaku is just going to take the loss and back out. But yeah, really quick fight there. Wasn't actually expecting that. But yeah, the Zen Moira. Zenyatta able to actually put a lot of pressure on Ramatra from range. So Omni Knights can play a little bit of a slower game here.
I'm just... I feel like this Pharah is going to be an issue down the line.
Definitely. Pharah's in spam, like Ramatra Brawl. Gonna be really hard to try and stage here, but I think they just have to play into that counter playstyle and try to trade out Jinxie when they jump in. It looks like they are going for that, playing the slow game, punching out Monkey. Jinxie not being able to find any value here, but Token is finding crazy amounts of spam value right now. Otaku not really able to get out of this room without being punished. Look at Ramatra goes low and drops. Traded out for Otaku. Omni Knights will look to capitalize on Genji here afterwards, and clean fight win.
The ult advantage on Omni Knights it's looking a bit rough now.
Yeah.
I feel like Otaku needs to change something up here. They need to go faster, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like forcing out the space, punishing out the Monkey, not letting him do this is pretty needed. It looks like they are going to go for it. Jinxie does get out the skin of their teeth. Token just shooting all the follow-up that's trying to kill Jinxie in the situation is really good from Omni Knights. Otaku is still looking to fight here, is trying to stage the 12 Ramatra together to punish this Monkey, get him off the angle. They just can't seem to walk out of the room with the endless spam from Zen Far.
There's just no breathing room that Omniknights is giving them, and now they've got the Bob, they've got almost all their ults up, and Otaku's yet to get their first one. That Coalescence coming up first, and there the tank goes. And now that just halts the push completely.
Omniknights in last fight territory here with pretty much all their ultimates. It's gonna be really tough for Baki on the Genji to get anything done with his blade here if he even decides to live.
Do they touch? Look at the talk
Get the
going
touch off
underneath.
the main. Jinxie going up far. Moira touch with a Coalescence. Anderson as well.
Moira's
Token comes in to trade Moira. Nano on the Pharah trades out the Ana, and Jinxie is just holding the enemy frontline back with a Primal. I guess that's just what happens when it's a 5 ultimate touch.
That's a really oppressive start from Omniknights, not giving Otaku any room to breathe whatsoever. I really would like them to not play the Genji into this. If I'm being a bit biased here, they should. I feel like I don't know, maybe Cassidy is a good thing, but I don't like the Genji maybe going onto a Tracer to just like spam out the Ana Zen maybe to stop them.
Tracer, definitely a good pick here, especially greedy backline. Greedy core in general. Ashana Zen kind of falls apart to one Tracer. Pharah could do something, but I mean, really tough if your Zen is not really spamming out the Ramattra gets to walk into Winston. Looks like they're going to change it up. Have the cast now instead of the Torbjorn. A little bit of a more faster front line for Otaku. Not really trying to look for much peel. Still able to punish the monkey with a Cassidy though. Bubble comes out early. Ramattra pops the form at a really good time. Trades out Jinxie. And now all Otaku has to do is walk up here. They're going to slowly walk, take point. Genji goes next. Gee, I think it's a bit of a greed from Jinxie there. Otaku able to trade out really easily.
Really good from Otaku to secure that first point. See, they've got a lot of, they can do the poke now, I feel. Kept that Winston down so that he can't leap in and just wreak havoc on the backline. The break also allowing for a lot more survivability, I feel like.
Yeah. Really. Otaku really just have to play the sustain game here against this Winston. Jinxie takes a risky down on a left side point. Long Live Pain gets traded out from range from Baki. Sniper Genji. Monkey soon follows, and Otaku orders the walk over main. Now Ash gets slowed, but it looks like they're just gonna leave. Otaku's Genji on the slight right angle though.
It feels like it's now the opposite, where Omniknights just can't get the opening because of this core. SG Flops really needs to get an anti-nade onto Otaku to give them the go button. But this
Otaku
new coming
really
in,
making it difficult for them to close the closer space now. Jinxie taking the big leap into the center. Really trade out. Genji goes in, but Winston is jumping out, and Genji gets traded. High noon from Cassidy from Otaku to hold space. Not gonna find anything as Omniknights do back out all the way here. Wait for the regroup.
I think
These fights are going really fast.
something that was missed is Baki getting that pick onto the Ana completely stopped the fight.
Oh, huge jump from Jinxie here with an anti-nade and a bomb. Omniknights just hit the old buttons. He took the aggro. No form from Otaku's Ramattra here. The backline is going to be forced out by Jinxie. And as we traded out, we're going to fight the Ramattra on points. We'll soon follow. Jinxie making really good backline-like oppression here.
Yeah, Otaku now needs to be careful. They do have the rally because Jinxie can just full int with the primal and get out free. But they also have the double support ults coming up. So that Blade's gonna struggle to find any value, I feel like, because we have the Trank. But then at the same time, Winston could get really punished by the rally.
We can see here window from the Baptiste on the Otaku side, but we can see Long Live Pain just spamming it out on the Zen here. Tarnished walking it on the Ash with the ram form, trades it out. Omniknights in a really precarious situation here. Token soon follows from the slow of Tarnished. It was a deadly slow.
Did Jinxie die first with primal, or did they just back out?
Unsure. Maybe planned a different ult. Maybe look for a dry fight. We take this fight with more ult.
Maybe, but ults are coming up. The Fortnite Storm or the from Ram.
Last fight territory here. Nano Monkey and soon answered with the rally. Big nade from the side of Omniknights. Jinxie's gonna look to trade it, but the Ramattra ult does pressure them away. Still able to get the break here from Token. Blade in the backline. Trank from Zenyatta. Baki not able to find any value. Primal out from Jinxie. It's just more ults from the side of Omni Knights.
Really clean fight from Omni Knights. I feel like that nade from SG Flops just forcing out the Mortality Field as well as the Ramatra ult there. And now we have Token with the Barrage. I feel like if they can get a good Barrage here onto the backline, I think that's final fight territory, don't you think?
Yeah. Because Otaka really want to go first here. Really want to swing the Noon. Maybe try punch this Fire. But if they go fast, Fire can just fly over Barrage 5 and it's kind of GG, right? It's like a Winston dive with a bubble, no response damage.
And we have to remember the Far can fly.
And here you see it. Oh, only gets one out. But Cassidy ult does get slipped on point, and everybody's chasing after Jinxie. Jinxie will just jump out here pretty safely, stabilize on point. I don't think there's much Otaku can do from this position. Might just have to regroup. I'm gonna take the form fight. Just try to stall it out because it is getting close-ish to the touch fight territory. Team of Otaku does stabilize. The spam from Token is inevitably going to do really bad things to the stacked backline here. Tarnished walking up on point. Jinxie with a bubble in response to Wall of the Tank. Bob out from side of Omni Knights to take the off angle. Brig can't really do much here. Gets traded out by the Bob on off angle. Just a Genji left for the side of Otaku. Not really much able to find much value. Really big Bob from Omni Knights there.
Yeah. Okay, wins. It's coming up Omni Knights. I do think, however, we saw a bit of life from Otaku in that second point, showing really good target priority, I would say. Once Jinxie burns their leap, just punishing that. However, I feel like at the end, Omni Knights' ult rotation, I feel like was a bit better. There was that one fight where Otaku, I feel, used a bunch of ults, but didn't get any values just because Omni Knights had the counters. And I don't know if that's a miscommunication of who to focus or who to burn down. But still, I was quite pleasantly surprised by the second round.
Yeah, it's very true. Omni Knights showing a bit more of the experience with good ult rotations, able to keep the ult economy pretty stable for the entire game. Otaku though, looking pretty strong on the brawl comp that they're playing, and it's a pretty good brawl comp into the dive from Omni Knights. Omni Knights making just a little bit of a slight prediction, maybe, with the Zenyatta instead of the Break, because the Zenyatta does a whole lot more into their brawl comp than what Break does. And being able to just sit on high grounds and sit really far away, not really getting much people on you, just spamming for free is really good for Zenyatta. And the side of Otaku, although the ults are a bit out of it right now, their gameplay doesn't seem to be completely like as out of it as the ult economy is. They're looking pretty strong on the fights that they win. We saw them hold for quite a while there, getting it into like the top 80% on that second map there. I think first map was a little bit of a shaker, as it is always.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, looking strong in the fights that they're winning. I think if they just focus on how they won those fights and take it into the next map, they'll be able to probably pick up a good fight against the probably stronger team in this game.
I also think it depends a bit on what map is going to be chosen next, considering now that we've seen the type of comps that they're more stabilized, or not more stable, more comfortable in, right? I'm looking at this map pool now real quick, and if I was Otaku, I would opt for a more brawl-heavy map. So I'm kind of thinking, avoid Blizzard World and Numbani and Hybrid, maybe just go for that Icon World, and then the Escort I think is a bit rough for both sides, with Dorado, Havana, Route 66. I think it's either Flashpoint on Servasa rather than Junk City, and then Push, I feel like, is anyone's game at this point.
I think Push is a strong choice for Otaku here. Servasa still has quite a few long angles where Omni Knights will probably look to greed the Zenyatta pick again. And I think if you're not really looking and scouting the angle that the Zen is on and like full sprinting their backline with this ball comp, he will just kind of get perma spammed by Fire Zen the entire fight, right? And Jinxie is just like the cherry on top with the bubble and everything. Stopping responding heals, responding damage. It's like really hard to play the long angles into a spam comp like this. So I think push might be the best bet for Otaku here. As we all know, pushes payload, quotation marks, never stops moving, right? So it's kind of, sometimes it's difficult if you don't know exactly what you want to do to set up dives like immobile backline like that. So maybe Otaku could capitalize off of situations like that on a push map. But it looks like so far it could be anyone's game.
And the map has been chosen. It is Dorado. Dorado. Not a map that I would have chosen considering that my opponents play the Winston dive. But this is now, it's going to be a game of rotations. If Otaku is on attack first, their rotation just needs to be solid to force them off high ground. I would love to see them to move away from that Ramattra into a D.Va maybe. That could be a potential good pick here. But I do think you did mention it really good. Well, you did mention it pretty well. The spam from Omni Knights is just unbelievably oppressive. And it seems that Otaku has chosen to defend first, which is something that I like, considering that I feel like it would be easier with their Ramattra comp to just hold them just underneath the bridge just before first point. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, it could be. Also, it's really hard if you're playing a Winston, right? Kind of hard to force the high ground from a broad comp like that, because they kind of just fight you off of it. So if they can keep their positions, that's the biggest thing. Like you said, like a game of rotations, right? It's like a game of positioning. Position in this map, or like I said earlier, Otaku have been playing a lot of different stuff. Maybe Otaku just want to match them on the dive, so they play a dive map that they might be comfortable on. And maybe they go
side is Winston.
Winston or maybe D.Va, like you said. D.Va would be a good pick here. But it looks like Otaku are going to stick this brawl comp, opting for the Kiriko Brig. I'm not sure if that is 100% confirmed currently, but it looks like it is, as we're all rolling out of spawn. Kiriko Brig, what are your thoughts on Kiriko Brig?
I think you pretty much know. I don't trust this at all, if I'm being honest. I feel like they're gonna lack any burst healing, really. I feel like they've got quite a bit of sustain, but at the same time, as a Brig player myself, I'm kind of terrified of a Winston most of the time, because he can just run me down and just make me useless. It'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Omni Knights opting for the Kiriko on a backline instead of the Zen on a backline like we saw last game. Coming into the first fight of map 2, we see the Widow from Karma taking pot shots on high ground already. Would have picked SG flops onto Baki with the sneaky angle. Nade onto the high ground, doesn't seem to connect. With Jinxie taking all the space that they are given. But here is Otaku with the fighting them off of high ground as we predicted. Good response from Otaku, but opting to play under bridge this time. Probably looking to just play the stronger second phase of this first point. Arguably is stronger for the Otaku's brawl here. Probably see if they can hold out against the fire spam though. Token
really
just
good
looking
engages from Jinxie there.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interrupt.
No worries. Jinxie again going for the high ground, not really being able to find much value from main, but Otaku are responding with trying to mount Jinxie on the off angle. Radagon trying to find value onto the soldier, not really finding much. Getting spammed out by the fire and loses his life for the overextension. Token really just finding these sly angles and just spamming out wherever he can. Jinxie taking the jump in onto the core. Token picking out with the spam. Jinxie is just cleaving this backline and Token with a follow-up. Karma swinging on the Sojourn. 1 HP manages to find the kill. And the Ramattra from Otaku soon follows.
What's coming up from Token could be big playmaking, but I do think we're really seeing the weakness in the Kiriko Brig backline. They're playing so on each other that Kiriko doesn't have anybody to TP to. So it's kind of, you have two pretty immobile characters sitting on top of each other, and Redragon swapping over to that Reaper is going to give them threat pressure onto Jinxie when they dive in.
Yeah, Otaku trying to go for the retouch here. Massive pressure onto Jinxie. Token coming up with a barrage onto Tarnish. He loses life for it, even though he is blocking for dear life. The Brig for Otaku trying to keep it off, but soon dies to Jinxie. And it is now just a cleanup game for the side of Omni Knights, taking the first point.
That's quite unfortunate. Very good barrage from Token, getting Tarnish down. Also, massive nade from SG Flops that just immediately stopped their push whatsoever. The Kitsune coming up from Clo could be used here to maybe do something, but the ult economy is in favor of Omni Knights, and I feel like this is a overclock nano angle here just to stop the fight completely.
Looking at the ults from side of Otaku, I'm thinking like Kiri rush high ground, try and force the space, but yeah, nano clock is just a really good response. Tarnish coming up with a shield to try and force the space off this high ground. Reaper slowly staging. Jinxie does take the jump in. Radagon on this Reaper, really trying to force Jinxie out. Here we hear the overclock from the side of Omni Knights. Kama just going to swing and shoot, just doing all the damage. Drops off, tries to look for even more picks. Is really greedy to engage into the low ground, but there's not much Brig Kiri can do against greedy engages like this.
Yeah, it just works. Yeah, really clean leap from Jinxie there to just split the team kind of in half and give Kama that opening. Still with that primal rush yet to be used and rally coming up.
Really going to be a good response to the hardcore dive that Omni Knight trying to pull off here. Jinxie taking the jump. Nano Monkey onto the backline. Rally in response as predicted. But the Brig is going really low. Primal from Jinxie finishes off the Brig, and the Bastion soon follows. Side of Otaku really forced into the choke point here. The Ramacha getting absolutely split out by Jinxie's Primal. Really good plays from Jinxie. Taking the jump back into the backline with the bubble. Leaves as they cannot find any more value. And Omni Knights will just push the card up here.
It's really unfortunate. The lack of mobility on Otaku is really hurting them, as SG Flops and Kama, as well as Token, can just stay up there, not having any real contest. Heather coming into second point now. Rush coming out immediately.
Rush coming out from the side of Otaku. Probably a miscommunication on the touch, but they do find stuff for a trade onto Kiriko and Sojourn. Looks like the side of Tarnish pushing up a little bit aggressively, getting split by Jinxie, and the Kiriko soon follows. I think Tarnish might need to play a little bit more careful into this hardcore spam. Still going.
I don't think it was a miscommunication on touch, because that was a rush out of Omni Knights. I think it's them pressing the gas pedal first, making sure that Otaku can't get the touch.
Oh, but a bit of a mistake from me on my part. My bad. Omni Knight's just pressing the full gas pedal. That's right. Oh, rush still yet to be used on the side of Otaku, but picks coming out from SG Flops and Loglive Pain. The support damage backline. Like, there's me. Don't expect to see picks coming out from the backline more than the fire. But
this damage is too much.
The spam from fire is Omni Knight's taking a really aggressive engage again with the barrage onto Tarnish. Soon follows, manages to catch the Ana in the back. Radagon as well in the Bastion. Overclock out from Omni Knights. Just looking for more in response from Otaku, but doesn't seem to get the angle. And Omni Knights are going to push the guard here. Going to be a really hairy touch for the side of Otaku. Can they make it out? Nade from SG Flops, but no touch from the side of Otaku.
It's an unfortunate round. Omni Knights being absolutely oppressive, showing us why they are that first seed. I feel like as a player for Vanquish and a player in the first division of the Summer Series, looking from the outside in, right? I feel like it's something needs to change, and I don't know if Tarnish can play other heroes to the same level that he is his Ram, or is that they play their Ram, but I feel like they need some pressure on high ground, and that could be an Echo or the Doomfist coming out.
The Doomfist. That's an interesting swap.
That is going to be the pressure that we need, or that is the contest to high ground that I was hoping for. I don't know if Doomfist is necessarily the best pick here. But I do kind of
Taking-
like their comp a bit more.
I like the Doomfist swap, especially now that Omni Knight's on the Zenyatta. What I don't get is the really slow, like everybody else on the team is really slow. Playing with this hyper like aggressive Doomfist pick. The Brick Juno Sojourn. Because very high pick potential and very high peel potential from the side of Otaku, but Doomfist is kind of just left out. So Doomfist is gonna actually fight for his life. Oh, we swapped to the Malga actually, looking for the even more sustained brawl. This is really oppressive into the Winston for Omni Knights, but can Otaku pull it off? Malga with the big slam onto higher ground, looking for a really aggressive engage, but gets full deleted by the Discord orb from Zenyatta. We see the power of Zenyatta in a comp like this with Pharah and Sojourn double spam. It'll be really hard for Otaku to take free space here. They need to play as many corners as possible.
Swapping to the Zarya now. That's a bit interesting. Maybe to combat the spam and get some energy.
Could
As
be.
well as the doubles.
Jinxie taking a really aggressive jump at the spawn and gets really punished for it. Otaku are going to look for now another elimination to try and capitalize off of this. Just going to push the cart up, try to look for the space. Zarya spam onto the high ground, but it looks like the backline of Omni Knights are not giving up just yet. Trying to find some kind of pick down main. Sojourn from sort of, oh, Cassidy gets traded, walking up a little bit too close. Tarnished here, trying to see what he can do from the low ground, but the spam coming out from Token is just a little too much for Otaku's backline to work. Jinxie is now back onto this Juno, looking to trade it out. Bubble out onto the Juno is really big. The Juno can't make it out of the window. He's stuck on a pot plant, but he lives with his life somehow. Jinxie back in this fight. Side of Omni Knights stabilized. Otaku looking for the next engage.
Oh, Token coming up to that barrage with the amount of spam. Come off, getting that pick onto Baki, just stopping the regress. Back into spawn they go. I really want somebody to clip Token's wings. That's all I'm hoping for. He's being really oppressive on this Pharah. Please, someone, just clip his
Will
wings.
anybody ever clip Token's wings this entire tournament? Token really strong in the Pharah, just almost every match that he has played. Next fight, you will see Token still pummeling them on this rotation, looking for a barrage, a huge barrage on the entire rotation. Some of them living inside, looking to fight Jinxie here, as nobody can follow Jinxie in the room. Jinxie going really low. Kama finding the kill onto Klo. Kill feed. Kama on this very off angle here, looking for really high value on the picks, finding them in rotation. I mean, this is what this comp does well, right? Kill people in rotation.
But the overclock and Nano coming out here, really possible. That's a really potent combo that could stop any rotation coming out now.
Tarnished on the high ground again. The Discord orb just melting him after his bubbles go down. Not much you can do. Jinxie just spamming out Kama again, going for this angle. And long live pain on the Zen even. We are taking the angle maxing to the next level with this comp.
It feels like there's a bit of a trickling happening here. I don't know, the solution probably just to be rotate high ground from the steps here, but they're kind of pushing here, going onto red roof.
Looking to force out Jinxie. It doesn't seem to be working. Huge odds coming out from the side of Omni Knights. Rally from Otaku to try and live, but it doesn't. Jinxie going down. Otaku could make something happen here. Nano out from SG drops onto the fire. It is now or never for Token. Token going really low, looking for some trades. Gets low, gets super pocketed by the backline of Omni Knights. Manages to live with his life somehow. Kama on this high ground, looking to trade something for the amount of damage that Otaku are just putting out. Still on this angle, I mean, Otaku are just kind of walking up. Kama can't really find anything. Trade from Jinxie onto Radagon. Barrage out from Token again. 2 for Token in this fight, and just looks to clean up. Might lose life. No way. He lives on 4 HP.
And he still lives. He's still flying high, Sweet Prince. I feel like they're funneling a bit here, but the ults coming up on Otaku, I feel like they have ults to play with. The Trank is going to be a problem,
Really
so I
need
feel
to
like if they can force that out, but will they touch? That's the question.
You need to run. We have ults, but we
I don't
don't
think it's
touch. Oh, no.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. No mobility. Unable to touch. Would have been nice to see what they could do with the ults there, but I mean, really strong gameplay coming out from the side of Omni Knights. And Token
Of
on the
course.
fire. Will his wings be clipped? The model of CTC currently. Like, just look at this, man.
That's
the new suck perk, right? Like
yeah.
changing boop
Just
into a
impressive.
suck and just grouping everybody up for a barrage is just perks have truly changed the game.
I feel like that is the that is the motto of today's cast is will Token's wings be clipped?
Just once.
Just once, just once.
Live on
Just
4
like,
HP.
there was that point where he got nanoed and he's in the middle of everybody, and it takes 3 people just to look at him, and
Yeah.
just
It gets super pocketed back to the bridge. It goes in again. 4 HP live. It's crazy plays from
it's just
Token and his backline.
yeah. Actually, the hats have to go off to the backline, being able to keep him up. Like, he's playing Pharah without a pocket at all, which is like really punishable. Like, he doesn't have that mercy that's clinging onto him, keeping him up constantly. So the fact that he's making it work, this like as much as he is actually really impressive if you think about it.
Yeah, and I mean, not like we see the power of the Zen too. Like instead of a mercy per se,
Yeah.
the tank from Otaku not really being able to work any space. Like Jinxie, like especially going red roof, it's kind of risky in the first place to try
Yeah.
and force the monkey out there. But I mean, Jinxie just throwing down the bubble, and then you kind of have no choice but to respond with Zarya bubbles of your own, and then they just get forced out, and then you break the bubble and you force the Winston a little bit, but then there's a Zen orb, and then there's Sojourn on the angle, and there's Pharah spam, and it's so hard to walk. I mean, Otaku's DPS still managing to find some kind of picks throughout that.
But it's not enough.
Not enough currently, but not looking down and out just yet. There's still that fighting spirit, I believe. Otaku are gonna go on a break, and I feel like this would be a good time to really talk about what's happening, really address how we can swap it up, because I think the biggest things on their mind right now is probably Pharah.
Yeah, clipping the wings.
As most players do think about when there's a Pharah rolling your lobby, you're like, hi, Pharah. But I think they also got to work out like how to shut down this Zen and this Ana backline that is kind of just free. Like we saw, Token lived on 4 HP, right? Like the backline is a very big reason why Token is living here, right? Like just free heals, free Discord orb, loads of damage, loads of pocket, just able to be in the middle of everybody, live, barrage, just do everything. We saw back-to-back barrages from Token there as well. It's just hard pocketing, able to spam out, get massive ult charge, and just live the entire time. It's crazy good for Pharah.
Just before we go to break, you mentioned the Pharah, them trying to maybe counter that. There is a bit of danger into that, because if you swap your comp just to counter the Pharah, that leaves the other 4 members on its team open to play free. So I think with that, I think we're going to go to intermission for a bit, and then we'll catch you on the potential reverse sweep map incoming. Potential.
I would always like to see you eventually.
But we see you coming. We'll see you in the next map. welcome back to day one of the playoffs. We just witnessed Omni Knights go 2-0 up on the previous two maps. Omni Knight leads with 2-0 versus Otaku. And we're into our next map coming up shortly. Risen, any thoughts? I know before the break we spoke about Token and the potential wing clipping that might happen on his Pharah. But anything else you would want to say to the viewers watching?
I think just like watch as like these players have from day one until now, like how much these players have improved is astonishing.
Yeah.
Obviously there will be stronger teams, there will be weaker teams, but that doesn't mean that both teams have not improved drastically from the beginning up till now. And especially Token on the Pharah is really strong. And I mean, the rest of Omni Knights also really strong individual players and team players. We can see that in how they structure their players. And Otaku also not looking too bad, even though they are 2 maps down. They still seem like they want to do stuff, but they're just not really getting there. And I feel like map 3 and now taking the break and probably having a chat about it, we could see a potential comeback from Otaku here, and I'd be full game for something like that.
I do think the mentioning of Token's Pharah is, I think, a key factor in why Otaku is not having they're pretty much being suffocated on anything they want to do. They can't make a rotate easy. So I think the potential way through this would be get somebody on a character that can stop Pharah. So maybe like an Ashe or a Cassidy, but at the same time, you can't. And then at the same time, play something that can pressure the Zen in the backline, as you were mentioning, being so instrumental in keeping him up. And we're going to map 3, which is push, and it is Colosseo. I personally, from watching a lot of OWCS Korea, know how oppressive a Pharah, and playing in this, know how oppressive a Pharah can be on Colosseo specifically because of all the little pillars and stuff that she can play behind. So I think we're going to see Token on that Pharah again. I would be surprised if we don't.
If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Like,
yeah. But how Otaku answers that, or how they will like attempt to answer that, is what I'm looking forward to.
I will say, middle map on Colosseo, obviously everybody's aware, really long sightline. So playing Pharah around there, if you overpeak maybe just a little bit, something like an Ashe or a Cass or a Hitscan could really punish you in these long sightlines. Pharah doesn't like really enjoy playing long sightlines with no cover, right? Because your shots just don't reach them in time, and then you just get traded out. So Hitscan from the side of Otaku, Ashe preferably, maybe even a Widow if they're a little freaky like that. To play Widow in a brawl comp.
I don't know about Widow.
So far, so far it seems like it's just brawl from them, so I wouldn't be. Widow doesn't seem like the best pick here. Ashe probably makes sense. So hang in the air, which is usually an issue because it's like, oh, is she